I have paid attention to my life because I understand that my life, just like your life, is always speaking to you, where you are, in the language, with the people, with the circumstances and experiences that you can understand and interpret if you are willing to see that always life, God, is speaking to you. Now, it took me a while to actually really get this and to understand it, but once I did, I started paying attention to everything. And one of the reasons why I can now accept the fact that I can offer my gatherings of information and wisdom and call myself a spiritual teacher is that every single person who ever came on my show, and I hear there's like 37,000 guests I've talked to, a lot of them came from dysfunction and a lot of them wouldn't appear to be teachers, but every one of them had something to say that was meaningful and valuable and that I could use to grow myself into the best of myself, which is what all of our jobs are. Your number one job is to become more of yourself and to grow yourself into the best of yourself.
Well, I'm stuck in a rut because I can't seem to follow through with anything. I went to college for a year and a half and I dropped out. Then I went to cosmetology school. I completed that, but I never went back to get my license. Then I was a pharmacy technician and I recently let that license expire as well. I just see like so many people that are my age and they're already set in their careers. And I just feel like at 29, I'm a people person. So I want to do something like human resources and I just need help. Like, where do I begin?
First of all, you're talking about stuff that I can relate to like so many others can relate to. I mean, you know, everybody got the same story. We just got different details. But like I always say, life is 10% what happens to you, it's 90% what you do about it. See, we're gonna dive into a chapter from my new book, and it's chapter 1, section 1. This is very clear for people. So the first step is getting completely and brutally honest enough to say, I am tired of myself. When you say I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's the facilitator of change. That's when you're ready to say these words, no more excuses. No more excuses. I went to Kent State, I dropped out. I didn't drop out, I flunked out. Now that threw my life into a spiral, but because I didn't have a college degree, I could not let that stop me. And like you're doing, where you're saying, all my friends at this age are settling in your careers, you don't even know if they're happy or not. Stop comparing yourself to others. So the first thing you do is stop focusing on other people. Instead, focus on being the best version of you that you can. Then you'll recognize that you deserve to sit at the big table with everybody else after you become the best that you can be. Now, once you've accepted that you have as much right to success and much right to succeed as anybody else, the next step is learning how to talk the talk. You have to get fluent in the language of success so you speak it with ease. Surround yourself with people who've accomplished their dreams and immerse yourself in the culture of achievement.
Just loosen up your life a little bit, laugh a little more, involve yourself with people around you. Do things that you think is not so important. Don't do things which are very important. Do simple things. It's very important you do simple things. Very important things you're doing in your life, you will become dead serious. You know, Bertrand Russell, an Englishman, Bertrand Russell said, if you're beginning to think that what you're doing is very important, you need to take a holiday. So holiday does not mean coming to India. Holiday is every day, in those 24 hours you must take a holiday from your seriousness. From your seriousness has come essentially because of your self-importance. You hold yourself as an important person. I want you to see you are like a speck of dust in this existence. Tomorrow morning if you disappear, for sure in India nobody will miss you. Even down under, they won't bother much, you know. a handful of people, they will also forget soon enough. Isn't it so? Oof. Nature does oof, you're gone. And nothing will happen in this world. Everything will happen wonderfully well even if you're not there. Every human being should be aware of this every moment of his life. It does not matter what the whole world says about you. It does not matter how significant a work you're doing. You must understand that tomorrow morning the world will go on fine without you, whoever you may be. Isn't it so? If you constantly remind yourself of this, you'll have no reason to be serious. Definitely not dead. And don't be dead now. A time will come. It's time to be alive.
No, single moms. My mom was a single mom. All around us, families, single moms, people trying to put food on their table, working 2, 3 jobs. Is the answer for them to just work harder? Or is it to work smarter? Work hard or work smart, because they're different. I'm always reminded of this story that my mentor, Alan Nation, told me. He said, Ty, and I don't know if this is a true story, but it gets the point across. There was a plane flying over South America. It crash landed, and it was full of all these engineers, all these hard workers. And the hard workers got out, and there were some machetes, and they all grabbed a machete, and they began to hack their way through the jungle. Chop, 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 chop. Flurries of activity, boy. They were working hard, but they forgot something. Don't ever confuse flurries of activity with accomplishment. Activity doesn't always equal achievement. So they were chopping through, and luckily for them, one person got out of the plane. Instead of working hard, went and climbed up a big tree and looked out and surveyed the landscape and yelled down to the group and said, hey guys, you're working hard, but you're going the wrong direction. You're going deeper into the jungle. The city for our escape is the other way. You see, what's moved civilization forward is not just hard work. Go to any hotel, go to any restaurant, the hardest working people there are working their ass off, and they're still not getting ahead. There's still not equality in pay. There's still people making massive amounts who don't work nearly as hard as the working class. No, what gets you ahead is leverage. In fact, it's the exact opposite. What you want to do is figure out how to work half the time and get twice as much done, so that you could take a vacation, so that you can paint a painting and have some downtime, so you can go on vacation with your family, so you can just lay out on the beach and just look at nature and enjoy life. You want to just grind yourself into the ground, go ahead. But the people that get ahead are not just grinders. They're not. The grind is necessary, work is necessary, but it's never a goal. It's a necessity. The goal is very different. The goal of life is not to breathe. Breathing is a necessity. The goal of life is to enjoy your life, to do something important. You breathe because you must. You work because you must. But you never say, well, you know why I'm here is just to breathe? No, you're not here just to work. Working harder doesn't always change the game.
The thing that I do at my company that is very unusual is that we are completely unreasonable, without reason, we don't use, yes, I'm logical, okay, yes, I'm a sane person, but when it comes to achieving a target, we do it with, we abandon reason and logic. We don't talk about, yeah, but, we never start, yeah, but, or no, we can't, or we couldn't because, or it didn't happen because. Anytime you're making sense of why something didn't work, we don't have the budget, we can't do that because, yeah, but we're different, you are being reasonable. The great things that have happened on this planet and continue to happen are because people are unreasonable. They literally abandon reason and logic. They defy the universe. Now, if you look around, if you're a logical person, if you're a person that has to make sense of it beforehand, then spend some time looking around the universe, look at nature, look at all the things that are done every day that literally defy gravity, defy possibility, defy physics. It's all over the place if you need to be reasonable. Now, in my case, I don't need to be reasonable because there's enough cases of super successful people doing things that are amazing, whether it was a manufacturing, a new product, or whether it was Steve Jobs coming back to Apple and turning that company around. Every day, look at Amazon. Look what Amazon has done. Okay, now you look at it and you're like, dude, that's a no-brainer. Make all products available online. Now it's a no-brainer. Now it's like, it's so logical. Look at Velcro. Velcro was like, God, I should have thought of that. See, but beforehand, it was completely out of reason that you could stick things together because they scratch one another. You understand what I'm saying? So look, this is what I want you to try. Try this in your life. It's gonna be very difficult. It's one of the most difficult things I do is being unreasonable, because all the people I'm surrounded by are trying to make sense of why they can't do something. Quit making sense of why you can't do something and become unreasonable until you do something.